I'm Sheila Blum, and I'm very pleased to welcome you here on behalf of our town's Climate and Environment Committee to the Go Electric EcoFest. Our committee organized this event, this Earth Month, because we are very concerned about climate change crisis, and I'm sure that everyone here is as well. We see evidence of this crisis on our beautiful Earth with greater and greater frequency: severe storms, droughts, fires, floods, warming oceans, corals bleaching, and more. Climate change is real, it's urgent, and swift action is needed. Experts say that eliminating the use of fossil fuels will go a long way to slowing the effects of climate change, but we don't have a lot of time. Of course, strong national and international policies are critical, and we must push for those, but collectively, our individual actions can have meaningful impact too. So we organize the EcoFest to help our residents learn about the various residential and transportation measures they can take to reduce or eliminate the use of fossil fuels, like natural gas and petroleum. And we have several great experts here who can provide information to help guide you to take those steps. And information on subsidies available from the federal, state, and county governments to make such a transition easier. Well, to the important part. We're delighted, or start with the important part of our program. We are delighted today to have with us Larissa Johnson, who is manager of the Residential Energy Program for the Montgomery County Department of Environmental Protection. I want to say that the DEP of our county is doing a lot of impressive work, and I give them a lot of credit. Larissa has been with the county Department of Environmental Protection since 2016, and she's been dedicated to working at the intersection of energy and climate for over a decade. She'll give us an overview of residential electrification technologies that we can consider and tell us about subsidies and special programs that will be of interest. Larissa, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. All right. Is this loud enough? Okay. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here on a Sunday afternoon. As Sheila mentioned, I am the Residential Energy Program Manager for the county, so it's my job to talk about all things energy to all the residents. So I do lots and lots of weekend and night events because I want to be where you are to answer your questions. I am going to give you an overview. If you have specific questions about your house and your needs, I will tell you where to go for that. I will not be the person that does any of the installations of solar panels or heat pumps, but I know the people who do. So one of the things that we run here in Montgomery County is called Montgomery Energy Connection, and it's our website. It's montgomeryenergyconnection.org. Every single thing that I'm going to talk about today is on this website. So if afterwards, yes, ma'am. Yes. Are these slides going to be available electronically? Yes, they are. So they have them here at the town of Chevy Chase, and then this is also being recorded for, which television show is it? Montgomery Municipal Cable, Channel 16. So we will also have the slides available there. So yes, and please do ask questions. I would like this to be as interactive as possible because that's how we learn best. But this program was created in 2016 when I came on board, and it really is a way to link you to all the different energy savings. There's a lot of programs that are happening. The average American thinks about electricity. How many minutes a year do you think? Zero. More than zero, but less than a million. 9 minutes a year. The average American thinks about electricity when their electricity bill comes in, when they pay their bill, or the electricity goes out. Luckily, we haven't had to deal with that in a long time here in Montgomery County, but those are the times when we're thinking about our electricity bill. For me, I think about it all the time, and for you, you're about to get 40 minutes or so of electricity, so you'll be good for at least 10 years. You never have to think about it again. But like I said, everything is on our website, so if you have any questions. I have goodies because I like to make this interactive. So where does our energy come from in Maryland, in Montgomery County, in Maryland? Solar, I wish. Nuclear. Oh, Sheila. She's a ringer, y'all. Yeah. Nuclear energy, yes. Coal, yes. Yes. So there's what it looks like, and this is similar now, but you'll see natural gas is number 2, and then coal, and then hydroelectric. So hydroelectric is our largest renewable energy source in the state of Maryland. We have Conowingo Dam, which is providing a lot of our electricity. We also have Calvert Cliffs, and that's in Maryland as well, so that's producing a lot of our electricity. Yes?
Where do you have the geography to have hydroelectric?
Where do we, Harford County is where it is, Conowingo Dam. Yeah, on the Susquehanna. Thank you all. Yes, so this is what it looks like right now. We do wish solar. We'll talk about solar a little bit. You see right here, there's this beautiful solar Tesla tile that you're going to learn about a little bit, as one resident actually has these on their roof. So that's exciting to know about. But realistically, almost 90% of our electricity comes from non-renewable energy sources. So the very first thing we want to talk about is how to use less energy, and I'll get into that in 1 second. I have one more question and one more prize for you. Nope. Oh, geez, Louise, cotton cheese. Oh, man, you already saw it. Let's see who was so fast, though. All right, we didn't see it. Where in your home, what is the biggest energy cost in your home? Your wife, yes. Also, in my home as well, and I'm the wife, so I'm using all the energy. Yes. What else? Yes, heating, cooling, and hot water. This is a power switch. This is a great tool. You can get these. These are just single item power strips, essentially. So in other places in the world, they actually have the outlet that you can turn on and off. We don't have that in the United States so much. So this is going to be your way to turn off your outlet, because anything plugged in is still drawing energy. So this is your way to turn that off right at the switch. So your coffee maker, your toaster oven, anything like that. So that's what that is. All right, so yes, heating and cooling accounts for about 63% of our electricity costs, and then you see the other breakdowns. So this is why we give out handy dandy little things like this, because electronics do take up about 21% of our electricity. Why is this important? Because there are things that you can do. The very first thing that we do is use less energy. So these are the things that we recommend you do. The very first thing, who here has had a quick home energy checkup? Yes, all right. Who here has never heard this ever before? Oh, so everyone's heard of it, but you chose not to do it. All right, so the quick home energy checkup, it does not cost you anything. It has been in existence since 2011 through the Empower Maryland program. So if you were to take out your electricity bill and you look with your magnifying glass at all those surcharges at the bottom, you'll see Empower Maryland listed there, and that is specifically to produce money to get people to lower their energy costs. It's a funny little system, but the point is that this is available to you at no additional cost because you pay for it every month with that surcharge. What is the quick home energy checkup? Who had one done? Yes, what is it? What did they do? Hold, please, because they need to hear you on the microphone.
So we had somebody come to the house. They went and did essentially an energy audit. They took a look at our thermostats, actually replaced our thermostats, no charge. They gave me a special power strip that it can tell when things aren't being used, so it does the same thing as the switch. It basically looked at the heating system, cooling systems, looked at everything in the house to determine what, just energy efficiencies that we didn't have that we might be able to take advantage of.
Yes. All right, Stacy, there you go. So I think what you did, you may have had the one step up. So the quick home energy checkup is really easy. It takes about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. They're gonna switch out your light bulbs from incandescents to LEDs. They're gonna do high efficiency shower heads, faucet aerators, all at no cost to you, no additional cost to you. The home performance energy with Energy Star audit, I think that's what did you have a door blower test?
No.
Oh, so you had the quick home energy checkup. There's one step above this that costs $100, and it's a comprehensive look at your home. It takes about 2 hours, and they're going to go in your attic, in your basement. They're going to do a door blower test. They have infrared cameras. That costs $100. So that's one step above this, right? And the beautiful thing is when you do that home performance with Energy Star audit, Once you get your report, it unlocks $7,500 worth of rebates. So $7,500 worth of money that you would not have access to unless you do the home performance audit. So I highly recommend doing that, especially if you plan on living in your house for a while. I did that in my home. I will tell you that we found that our attic only had 3 inches of insulation, and to code we needed 30. So just little things like that you don't know, because we bought our home in 2020, and so there were things that we needed to upgrade. So we were able to do that through the home performance program. But with the quick home energy checkup, they also do the thermostats. So the smart thermostats are also part of that now. So like Stacy mentioned. These are some other things that you should be doing. Yes, sir.
Where do we sign up for the home?
Oh, perfect question. How do you sign up for it? You're going to leave here, and well, you're going to write yourself a note, and you're going to call them tomorrow when they open. You just call up your utility supplier. I believe everyone here is Pepco. So you're going to call Pepco, you're going to say, I would like a quick home energy checkup. They're going to say, okay, what day would you like it? And then they're going to have a contractor come to your home. Easy peasy. Yeah, super easy. And again, on our website too, if you have any questions, everything is there as well. So that's for the quick home energy checkup and for the home performance with Energy Star audit. Either of those, you just contact Pepco. Yes, ma'am.
Are they available, the rebates, the coupons, et cetera, everything income independent, or?
Yes, so the question was, is everything available income independent? Yes. So for the quick home energy checkup and for the home performance audit, that $7,500 worth of incentives is available to anyone regardless of income, correct? Yes. And we'll talk about that, because there are some programs that you have to be income qualifying to receive, and this is not one of them. And then these are some other things. So really quickly, what temperature should you need a hand raise though, because I know y'all like to just yell out, but then I don't want to throw this at your head. All right, so what temperature should your thermostat be set at in the summer? In the summer. You had it for the winter, my friend. Oh, hello. There you go. For the winter, that's okay. 68 for the winter, 78 for the summer. Why is that important? It's because more than, what was this number? 63% of our energy costs go to heating and cooling our home. So here's the thing I want you to note. For every degree, multiply by 3. So that is just the rule of thumb that the utility companies tell us. So for every degree you deviate from whatever the recommendation is, you are looking at the potential of an increase of 3% on your electricity bill. So for every degree, multiply by 3. So if you like your house at 72 degrees in the winter, go for it. Just know that that's a 4-degree difference. 4 times 3 is 12. So 12% increase on your electricity bill. Does that make sense? Okay, so no one is going to come into your home and change your thermostat unless you do the Peak Rewards program through the utility company. That is not something that the county does. That is through your utility company. And that's a whole nother program, but that means that they're going to lower your energy usage at peak times. And then your refrigerator thermometer, your refrigerator temperature. What temperature should your refrigerator be set at? 39. Who said that? I told you I need you to raise your hand so I can give you a prize. 36? No, what? 36. Yes. And right here, they even have refrigerator thermometers here. So if you are interested, you can give her a little money. No, just kidding. She's a county employee. You can just spin the wheel or just say, may I please have a refrigerator thermometer, and they'll give you that. That's important, though, because our refrigerator is using a lot of electricity. It's one of the appliances that's always plugged in. So it uses about 7% of our electricity in the kitchen. So that's just one of the reasons why we do that. And then 5-minute showers. Yes, sir.
Sorry, what was the temperature?
Sorry, it's going to be between 35 to 40 degrees. He said 36, which is ideal, so somewhere between that. Anything colder, you now have a refrigerator freezer, so you don't want that. You don't want your grapes to freeze or your orange juice to be, I have it happening on my top shelf, that's why I'm saying that. It's like that orange juice that's, frozen a little bit. Anyway, yes, and then anything higher than that, if it's more than 40 degrees, you run the risk of spoiling your food, so. And again, it's all on that thermometer over there, so if you would like one, the information's there. And then the 5-minute showers, I know we usually hear groans for that one. It's a recommendation. It's because we are using our showers, or we're using hot water to heat our showers, and we're using the water, so we have to pay for that water. So it's a double whammy, essentially. But 5 minutes is the recommendation. We have shower timers that we do like to give to folks, but again, It's just a recommendation. It's not going to kick you out. It's not going to argue with you. It's just a little timer. All right. So next up is that we want to use less energy. Second is we want to make sure that we're not wasting that energy and that we're making our homes comfortable. So this is where that home performance audit comes in. It does cost $100, but it's going to really figure out what is missing in your home and how you can make your home more energy efficient. The other big one we talk about is switching to LEDs. I'm pretty sure we did a light bulb exchange here a few years ago because y'all had like the most light bulbs ever. Like there was someone that came in with like 87 light bulbs and I was just like, why? Where are these? I guess they were in their garage. They were saving them for I don't know what. But anyway, so switching to LEDs. Why? LEDs use less energy than incandescent light bulbs and compact fluorescent light bulbs. Also, compact fluorescent light bulbs contain mercury. So one of the things the county is trying to do is to make sure that we are recycling right. So those compact fluorescent light bulbs cannot be thrown in the trash or in the recycle bin. They have to be brought to, now we have bins at Straw Snyder's, at Lowe's, at Home Depot, at Ace Hardware. So you can bring them to those locations to put in your bulbs, or you can bring them to the transfer station. And if you have long tubes, they have to go to the transfer station. So that's one of the things we're trying to make sure people know, because there's an environmental impact with those compact fluorescent light bulbs in addition to energy efficiency. The other thing with light bulbs is I just want you to know, what do we care about? Do we care about watts now, or is there another thing that we care about? All right, I'm going to give it to this gentleman because you already had a prize. All right, so lumens. So lumen is a measurement of brightness. So a lot of times when people are like, I just want a regular light bulb, and they're thinking 60-watt light bulb, a 60-watt incandescent light bulb provides or produces about 800 lumens of brightness. So now your LED uses 9 watts of energy to produce the same amount of brightness. So you're going to see on your light bulbs, I don't think I have one here, but there's a nutrition label essentially. It's called lighting facts, but it's a nutrition label for lighting because it's a complicated system. So you're going to look at that box and you're going to say, okay, I want this brightness and I want this color, because you can also have cool or warm or whatever. So just know that everything comes in LEDs now, even refrigerator lights and oven lights. So anything that you could get in incandescent, you can now get in the LEDs. Also, incandescents have been phased out, as you probably have heard, but that means compact fluorescents are still on the market. All right. So speaking of the market, all of our utility companies have a marketplace. So when you do get these slides, you can click on anything that is hyperlinked, and you can go to the utility marketplace. So Pepco, right now for the month of April, because it's Earth Month, you can get a smart thermostat for $1. Well, you can get it free if you do the quick home energy checkup, but if you wanted to buy one of your own or wanted to install something, it's $1. Nest thermostats are $1 right now. So they do promotions like that all the time, or if you need another shower head or light bulbs, you get them through the marketplace because they're going to have it at cost. I saw her hand up.
For an older house, we wanted to put a nest in, but we were going to have to redo the wiring, so it wouldn't be $1 for.
No. So the statement, if you didn't hear it, was that they have an older home, and so to put in a Nest or a smart thermostat, they would have to update the wiring. And that does happen a lot of times, so it's not $1. That is true. Yes. But there could be funding. So let's talk about one of these things. So Montgomery County has an energy efficiency tax credit. It has been in existence since before I came to the county, and there's money there. So if you were to install a smart thermostat, or you were to install insulation, or do any of the things through the home performance audit, you will also qualify for a $250 tax credit. Now, if you were to click on that link, it is the easiest application in the history of government agencies. I promise you. They even did it, they made it so you can do it virtually or online. It's really, you just click it, you put in your receipt of whatever you purchased, and then you send it to them. It's the easiest application you will ever do. What has happened in the past is people will, they'll do their smart thermostat this year, and then next year they do the insulation, and then the next year, and the next year, and the next year. So you can spread it out so that you get that $250 tax credit every year if you were doing home improvements. And then in the back here, we have Rewiring America, one of my favorite organizations. You'll be able to talk to them afterwards. But they have an inflation reduction calculator. So what they can do is they can tell you everything. You put in your zip code, you put in some information, and then it's going to shoot out all the different incentives that are available to you based on where you live. And then you get to choose how you want to do it or what you want to do, and it's all right there. So you see right here, 30% tax credit for the projects, capped per year at the following amounts. But go to that website, and I'll show you where to get it. You just put Rewiring America plus inflation reduction calculator, and it'll pop up. But that is where I would tell you to go, because things change all the time, and with the Inflation Reduction Act, there's money coming out every year. But it should all be out this summer. That's what we were told, by 2024. All right, which brings us to the third thing that I ask people to do, and that's to electrify your home. This is where Montgomery County has really stepped up. We have a pilot program where we're helping you electrify your home. We have money that is not being utilized. So if you are interested in electrifying your home, you want to stop by the table and get information. We have information on all the different things, all the different devices too. But Electrify MC is the name of the program. And we have money for heat pumps, efficient electric water heaters, induction cooktops, efficient electric dryers, whole home surge protector, everything. We also, as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm giving you information, general information about all these things, but for your home and for your needs, I will not be able to answer those questions. So in this pilot, we have partnered with one organization called Elysian Energy, and they are serving as our help desk. So if you have questions specific to your home, even before you decide to electrify, you would just call them, the phone number's here, or you email the help desk and you say, I'm interested in electrification, but I just don't know where I should start or what I should do, and they're gonna help you along that way. And then once you decide to electrify, they're gonna help with the installation. They actually do the installations themselves. So we have partnered with, this is a pilot, so we're hoping it goes well so that we can bring on more installers to answer people's questions and to really help. But as of right now, this is how I had to work. Yes?
It's all good, to electrify our homes, but the mix of energy being used in our state for generating electricity is not good enough. Is the state or the county doing anything about that?
The state is, and the county is as well, where we're trying to switch over to renewable energy. We just have to have enough people that are putting solar panels on their homes and are making these efforts so that there's more of a demand for it on the other side. Yes, sir?
Well, but what about the energy that say Petco, those people buy and sell to us? Because that's where you can do it in big numbers.
Yes.
They've done it in the UK.
Yes. And that's
Replace all this gas and coal and stuff.
correct. It has to be in conjunction. It has to be the utility companies doing their part, which I do not work for one of the utility companies, but I do know when I worked in Annapolis, that was one of the things we were trying to do. That's what the Empower Maryland program was created to do, was to have us use less energy first and then to switch over to cleaner energy. So there are laws that have been passed at the state level that are trying to do that. I don't have the exact numbers right now because I've been focusing more on county, but I can get you that information if you want to know exactly the Clean Jobs Act and all of those different things. I'm happy to get that for you. And yes, in the back.
Yeah, we all get all of these things in the mail about other suppliers promising clean energy and various other things. Do you have any thoughts about how we can sort through all the marketing stuff to get to the fact?
Oh man, you're going a few slides ahead, but I'm gonna get you there. All right, so the question was about the fact that in Maryland we are a choice state, meaning we get to choose who our electricity is coming from. I'm just gonna run through here really quickly. So what you're asking about is how do we make sure that these suppliers, these third-party suppliers, are actually green certified or are providing what they're saying they're providing? And so again, when you get this slide deck, you can click here or you can go on your phone right now and search for Green E certified suppliers. There are 3 in Maryland that are Green E certified, meaning that, let me see if hello. Let's see if this works. Oh, yes, no, yes. Yeah, so find Green E certified. I forgot that I could have been doing that this whole time and just showing you the things. So you're gonna say, I'm interested in residential renewable electricity, okay? And I live in Kansas. No, I live in Maryland. And then I'm going to search. It might be 4 now. Yep, 4. So Ambit, Entergy, Pulse, and WGL. I guarantee some folks in here already have WGL, right, as a third-party supplier. Yeah, so this will tell you exactly what it is. These are the 4 companies that have been vetted to be true green energy suppliers. Now, if I were to go back to montgomeryenergyconnection.org, there are over 200 energy suppliers that service Montgomery County. So there's Pepco, BGE, Potomac Edison. Those are the 3 big ones that are regulated by the Public Service Commission. All of these smaller companies are not regulated by the Public Service Commission, so they can change their rates daily if they wanted to. So that's why I personally, if you're asking me, I stick with Pepco, or I would do WGL, because I would at least know that it's 100% solar. But I didn't say that. Dang, this is being recorded. All right. But do the research. You know, if you're interested, there are people who switch out their electricity suppliers every year or when the contract comes up, because you can get it at a lower rate. But if you go to the gentleman with the checkered shirt, we want to get more clean energy on the grid. So, yes, sir.
On solar panels, some people want to lease those panels and some want to sell them to us. Very different business models.
Yes.
Like leasing is more cheaper up front, but only you make your money back later on.
Yes.
Is there a view on what is better for the environment and what's better for us?
Oh, so Sukrit right here is from Solar United Neighbors. So I would stop by his table at the end. But when we're talking about solar energy, and again, y'all are jumping ahead, but that's okay. So one of the things that we do as the county is we promote something called the Capital Area Solar Switch Program. This is for folks that want to purchase and own their solar panels. And there is a different model, which is leasing. That's a whole nother thing. There's also community solar, which is a whole nother thing. So there's lots and lots of levels here. Each of these, if we were to talk about them, we could talk about them all for an hour, each topic. So this is really just your little sneak peek into all these different things, but that's why Solar United Neighbors is here. If you're interested in solar, he may be able to tell you the environmental differences. He says yes. He's going to tell you the environmental difference between owning and leasing. I will tell you that I, as a resident in Montgomery County, I went through the co-op process in 2020, so I have solar panels on my roof through this process. And then one thing that I don't have on this slide is how to finance this. And in Montgomery County, we are lucky enough to have Montgomery County Green Bank, and the Montgomery County Green Bank has financing mechanisms to help you with all of these things as well. So whether it's energy efficiency or renewable energy, that's where I would go. That's where I did go for our for our solar panels. Yes?
I went to an event last week at the Chevy Chase Village, and I thought someone from the state of Maryland told me that solar is now 8% of our energy mix, but on your pie chart, it wasn't even on there.
Well, it was 2021 numbers, and it would have been right there with our non-hydroelectric renewables, so it may have increased that red part. So I will update these slides. I will talk to Maryland Energy Administration and make sure they can give me that. Yes?
Can you tell us real quickly what Solar Switch is, so that they can learn more at the information?
Yes.
Information table later.
Yeah, so Capital Area Solar Switch is the newer name for what we would call a solar co-op. So a solar co-op is when residents all decide to go solar around the same time, and as a result, you get it at a discounted rate. And we usually go with the same installer or installers. So through the Capital Area Solar Switch program, they do a reverse auction. So solar installers submit information to the Solar Switch program. They say, we would like to be one of the solar installers, and then they're vetted through this process. And so you don't have to do get 3 quotes. It's going to do it for you, and it just makes it such an easier process to go solar if that's what you're interested in. On average, people are spending or paying about $4,000 less than if they were to go on their own. So there's a benefit to that. But again, there's going to be 1 or 2 or 3 installers that are chosen. It depends on how many people subscribe, or how many people sign up, I should say, excuse me. All right, so that's Solar Switch, and again, Solar United Neighbors is here to answer your questions. Then we have over here The Electrify MC program, we're going to have all of the handouts for the different items. If you're interested in them, they'll be at the Montgomery Energy Connection table. And then right next to that is Brian, who also works at Department of Environmental Protection. And he is in charge of our zero emissions vehicle program. And there's a lot going on, y'all. So if you're interested in EVs or in charging, that's who you want to go talk to. There are also dealership incentives, which I haven't taken advantage of yet, but they do exist. So again, go talk to Brian if electric vehicles is what you're interested in. And then, of course, Rewiring America in the back, if you want to learn anything about the Inflation Reduction Act tax credits, they can tell you about the calculator, which again, I'm a huge fan of. Then, I'm not going to go through every one of these slides, but when you get the slide deck, and if you go over to the table, we have these all on little postcards, and Marvin will show you, see these postcards, so you can get this information if you'd like. But this tells you a little bit of the breakdown of like, how long does this thing last? What would the cost be? How much am I getting through the county? How much am I getting through inflation reduction tax credits? So we have this slide deck if you're interested in electrical panel upgrades, which is what you would have to do for your smart thermostat, right? Or heat pump, air conditioner, heaters. If you have any questions about these specifically, especially for your home, that is when you're going to just contact our help desk. And you're going to talk to a real person, and they'll be able to look on Google at your home, and they'll be able to figure all of that out. So you do not have to take pictures of these because they're all over there. Melvin has them if you would like them. But we have it for, like I mentioned, we have it for heat pump air conditioners and heaters, heat pump water heaters, electric stoves and induction stoves. And I know Rewiring America has an induction stove there, so if you want to put your hand right on it while it's on, no, don't do that. And then we have efficient electric clothes dryers. And those are, I think, the areas that we have, yes. And again, it's a pilot program, but there's money. So take advantage of this money because not everyone, we have so much money left over right now for this pilot program. Yes, so please, come get it, yes. And tell your friends all over the county because we have allocated different amounts of money depending on how many single-family homes are in each of those areas. Question in the back.
Larissa, can you just clarify if the local incentives can be combined with federal and other incentives?
Can these local incentives be combined with? Yes, they can, my friend, and that's what we're hoping. We're hoping that these will help get you over that line. So if you were like, maybe I'll do an electric heat pump, hopefully this gets you over there, okay? And again, there's also funding through Montgomery County Green Bank as well. Yes.
So Jamie and I are sitting back here, we're both from Fairfax County.
Yes.
And we are incredibly envious of you. You have awesome programs.
Yeah, Fairfax County. Fairfax, you can at least participate in the Capital Area Solar Switch program, so Fairfax does participate in that with us. But this electrification pilot is one of the first ones in the country that is run by a county agency, by a municipal government. So yeah, and we do work with Fairfax, we work with Arlington, and they're trying to figure out how to do this as well in other places. But you are lucky here in Montgomery County to have this first. All right, then we talked about renewable energy. I touched on it a little bit. Community solar is another way for you to get cleaner energy. And the community solar projects are in our service territory. So they're going to be PepCo or BGE or Potomac Edison. So they're going to install the solar panels somewhere. You subscribe to the project. You're going to get a discount on your bill, right on the bill after this year, hopefully. And then you will see the savings. So that's another way to make sure you're participating in cleaner energy. And then we have, and question in the back.
Yes, if you already have solar panels on your house, but they don't generate enough.
Yes.
Can you sign up for this?
Yes, great question. So the question is, even if you have solar panels on your roof, you can still subscribe to community solar. Just like you pay your PepCo electricity bill, you would then subscribe to community solar to a project here in the area, and then you would see a credit on your account based on how much energy that project is producing. So that is also something we highly encourage people to do because then you're getting more of your energy from cleaner energy. And then our website is montgomeryenergyconnection.org. So if anything, you're going to go to this website and everything is there. Everything that I talked about lowering your energy costs or conservation, it's going to be under this part that says lower my bill. If you're looking for anything about renewables, you go here to renewables. If you're looking for anything random about energy, like about, let's see if it'll click. Ooh, yes. So if you're looking for, under my energy use, a background of energy in Maryland, bill examples, that whole thing about choosing your electricity supplier, I wasn't kidding. Like if you go to here, Montgomery, Maryland Electric Choice, wait till you see this. So you're gonna shop now. I'm gonna put in Pepco. I'm just gonna make up some numbers here. I'm just gonna put in, how many, does anyone know how many estimated monthly kilowatts they use? How many? 1,800, who was that? You're gonna get a prize, okay. 18, I'm not gonna throw it at you though. All right, so let's say 1,800, and then this is where it gets overwhelming. This is why I said go look at the Green E Certified, if that's what you're looking for, because, are you ready for this? These are just, these are the companies that you could switch to. Just a few, it's just a few. So you can do it this way, or you could look up the Green E Certified if that's something you're looking for. Yeah, there's a lot of options. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that I think some people in the town use Neighborhood Sun
Yes.
for community solar, and so if you're thinking about community solar, that's one where you can, maybe you've got too many trees on your property, you don't have enough direct sunshine to do your own panels, then community solar is a good option.
Thank you for that. I'm going to give you a prize too, just for bringing that up. So for community solar, again, you go to learn about renewables. We have lots of projects actually here. We also work with Energy Sage, which is another company that just aggregates information for you. So if you put in your zip code here, it will tell you all the different community solar projects. But here are just 3 that are right here in Montgomery County available. Some of them are income qualifying, so if you do qualify, then you don't actually have to pay for the subscription in a lot of cases. So there's lots of benefits here, but go right to here under Learn About Renewables, and you'll find more about community solar. Yes, and I saw your hand up.
My understanding is that you can subscribe to it. That doesn't mean your house is using that solar panel.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. So the electrons are not going directly from that solar panel to your house. The only way the electrons go directly from a solar panel to your house, to your energy usage, is if you have solar panels on your roof. Other than that, what you're doing is subscribing to bringing them onto the grid, essentially. You're saying, I'm going to participate in this so we have more clean energy on the grid. And that's one of the things that the state is doing. Yes, your question.
So if you have community solar,
Yes.
does that take care of everything, or do you also want to have it be?
The Green E Certified. So the question is, does community solar, is that going to take care of all of your energy needs? In some cases, yes. I would definitely talk to Sukrit back there shaking his head. Again, he will give you so much information. He is the expert on all things solar. He's who I call whenever I get questions from residents. So I would go to him. It's very rare that you get the real expert here. So I would definitely take advantage of Sukrit today. But yes, it depends. So some people have solar panels and it's still not producing enough energy to cover the electricity that they're using in their home. So then they subscribe to community solar. So there are options. Yes?
The system was more centralized. We have WGL for wind energy, and we're part of Neighborhood Sun. So I called Pepco. I said, what portion is wind and what percentage is solar? And they said, we don't know. And I called WGL, and so I guess I could do the math by looking at the kilowatt hours. But when is it going to get a little simpler and it's also divided?
Yes, that is the question. And unfortunately, the legislative session just ended for Maryland, but that is a great question. How do we streamline all of these things? One of the things that just happened last year was streamlining, or this year, I guess, what's this month? Anyway, it happened recently where they're streamlining it so that you're not going to get 2 different bills from Pepco and from community solar. So that's something that they're trying to make sure is only one bill. But yeah, every quarter or every year, you should get something in the mail from Pepco that says where their electrical mix is from. It's like this little handout usually. but it usually gets thrown away. So you would have to do the math essentially, but it depends. All right, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please call Brian. Just kidding. You can call me. You can call me or go to energy@montgomerycountymd.gov or Montgomery Energy Connection. And that's about it. Is that it, Sheila? All right.